few losses in a row here piling up, but
Yeah, obviously the mood with the team is, we're looking for answers to what we have to do differently. I think we're also, we're frustrated by the results we've had, but also we know that there's major areas in our game that we can improve that will help us get things headed in the right direction. So there's a strong belief in the group, but there's also knowing that, how we've played, especially the last couple games, isn't at all up to the standard that we need to be at to be a top team.
I think Sheldon said last night a little adversity early in the season is not necessarily a bad thing. What's your take on that?
I think you take what's given to you, and right now we're dealing with adversity, and you have to grow from it. So it's early in the season, it's late in the season, middle of the season. There's going to be adversity at times, but the true test of a group is how you react to this type of adversity. And we're going to have some now, we're going to have some later, we're going to have some probably even later than that. And every time it's a different response needed. So that's how I look at it. Would we like to have had a better start and get off rolling? Yes, but we haven't, and now we have to make the most of what we have.
What are the areas you see in need of improvement?
I think the biggest thing is execution for us. Execution and consistency with our execution. I think if you look at Carolina last night, they played the same way all 60 minutes, no let-ups in their games. And that's a team that's shown they're one of the elite teams in the East. At times we've done it, at times we've shown it. I thought we had a really good preseason in terms of where our details were good. It showed a lot of positive signs, and I feel like after the first couple games, by kind of getting on the wrong side of not scoring and goalies playing well against us and us outplaying teams, we kind of have gotten away from our details a little bit the last few games, and good teams that play with structure, with the skill that we have, end up being really hard to play against. So we have to get back to playing with that structure and that pace, and then the skill comes out.
Given your experience, do you feel more inclined to kind of lend an ear to some of the younger players and just offer your kind of, words of wisdom?
Yeah, for sure. That's a big part of it. It's part of being a team, not just my experience, just everybody I think needs to help each other and support each other and prop each other up and share experiences. I think a big thing for our guys is realizing that we get out of this as a team. We're not looking for one or two guys to climb us out of this. It's really a team sport. Hockey, you look at it, we go into Pittsburgh, we lose to a team that is missing all their top guys, and almost makes it harder for them to play against them for one night. And I think you'll see that again throughout the times of the season when top guys are missing from lineups. It shows how much of a team sport it is. So we're fortunate we have the top guys that we have, but it's not just on them to get us out of it. It's up to us as a team to pull in the right direction to get everybody playing well.
Have you ever been through anything like this, like in the beginning of the season?
Yep, lots of times and on lots of good teams, and yeah, everybody comes into the year fresh with enthusiasm and wanting to be world beaters to begin, and now we've faced adversity, and now it's how we respond to the adversity, and it's time, we have to dig in as a group, and you'd like these kind of things to happen, the midpoint of the year is a bit of a wake-up call after you've had a great start, but the fact of the matter is it's a wake-up call for us now, and we have to look at it that way, and it's a great situation we're in.
Those experiences you went through, have you been able to kind of convey them to guys like Austin, Mitch? Because in their entire career here, it's usually been pretty strong starts. This is kind of unprecedented territory for them.
Yeah, nobody goes the whole year and doesn't have any hiccups, and your hiccups come at different times. If you look at Tampa in 19, they start the year, their captain's calling them out as a group. They go on, they play 500 hockey to Christmas, and then they take off and win a bunch in a row, and then they win a bunch more in a row, and then they lose, I think, 6 of 9 or 6 of 8 going down the stretch. But it doesn't faze them. They go into playoffs, they win the Stanley Cup. And the good teams, you're going to find a way to get back to a consistent level. So, if we're a team that we think we are, then this is just going to be a blip and something we look back on as a learning experience. But right now, it's hard. And right now, we have to dig in. And right now, we have to do a little more and be a little uglier in our game to get back on track. And then once we get on track, then you have a blueprint of what it feels like to win games consistently.
I think the fans and maybe always want to maybe connect dots from things that happened this year to years past and playoffs before. But as players, is it more about just being in the moment and kind of avoiding making those connections?
Yeah, of course. You guys are storytellers. It's your job to tell the story and to paint the picture a certain way, and it's our job to live in the present. And I love that we have the coverage that we have because it shows that people care so much, and that's just part of one of the great things about playing in Toronto. But your job is to tell a story. Our job is to get to work and to figure out solutions, and then we'll help you write the story later on if we can get out of it. So that's just the reality of sports and reality of playing in a big market, and it just adds a little extra challenge, but it makes it extra rewarding.
You mentioned Tampa, the captain called him out early on. What's your sense of John through this and what he's bringing for you guys?
Yeah, John's bringing lots of intensity. We've had lots of internal discussions. I think different situation in Tampa. We got lots of noise from the outside, so probably most of our talking is done inside the room. We've held each other accountable. There's been lots of conversation, lots of frank conversation, and listen, you guys have all heard that before. We talked about how we had conversations in the summer. We talked about, but that's just what sports is. It's reacting to how you're playing. It's reacting to losses. It's reacting to wins, and it's how you get going. So there's nothing that the talking is going to do. It's a matter of us just going out and playing. But the fact of the matter is, we live this 24/7, 7 days a week, all year. So there is talking that has to be done about it too, and we have to support each other. So I know people don't want to hear the talk, but it's part of what we do. Is we have to communicate with each other to help us get out of it.
The word that gets thrown around a lot is fragility. People ask about the fragility of this group. Is that talking one of the keys to kind of keeping that fragility at bay, I guess?
I think every team that hasn't won, there's a fragile aspect to them, and I know that it's been talking. That word has been used by a lot of people, but I don't think we're a fragile group. But I think we're a group that's still trying to find our consistency and find our way, and we know what a good game feels like. We just haven't been able to do it here recently. But Sheldon does a great job of showing us the clips, showing us the video, and talking to us about what it feels like and looks like when we're playing well and what it doesn't. And I don't think we're a fragile group, but I think we're a group that's just trying to find our consistency in our play.
You mentioned playing Pittsburgh without some of their stars, no Taves, no King for Chicago right now. They're a troubling group. Is there any danger in taking it for granted, just where Chicago's at right now?
Yeah, this league is anybody can beat anybody any given night. So you don't take anybody for granted. We're going through a tough stretch here where we're struggling. They're going through a tough stretch and we're struggling. It's obviously if they're missing guys, that's another aspect to the whole storyline. But for us, we just need to focus on what's ahead of us and playing the game and playing our game and dictating the game. I think that's something we can do a better job of, is not letting the other team choose what type of game it's going to look like. I think you see the best teams in the league, they play the game on their terms most nights. And that's something that I think as a group, that when we start making teams play the games on our terms, we'll be a better team. And that's something that we can start tomorrow. We come out and play the game and dictate play and make them play on our terms.